You know what? I haven't even done a mic check today. Mic check. It looks like it's working though, right? Yeah, okay. This is kind of an impromptu morning, kind of a open discussion with coffee, essentially. Bill, I got the clip. I watched it, and oh, my mind is going is tick 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 tick. What do I want to do with it? I think I think just playing it raw without adding imagery or context or something would be an injustice. So come on in and we can actually have a talk about it and see what we want to do. Or send me a message as as probably would be your preference. So oh yeah, I guess I have to. What was that? I heard a ding. Yeah, so you know what I did? You know what happened? I um I was supposed to start at like 8:45, which is 20 something minutes ago, 22 minutes ago or something. So just before, about 5 minutes before, I was trying to readjust cameras or something, and it wouldn't switch. It wouldn't switch. So the only way I could sort of kick it out of its hook to an application would be to restart my computer, which I did. However, um, it wouldn't restart. It wouldn't restart as it was supposed to, so I had to shut it down manually. And then I gave it a few minutes, and then I restarted it, and it gave me that. Well, you know what I'm thinking? It gave me that error, that temperature control sensor, something or other. So that's when I shut it down, and I kind of wait. But I noticed I was cleaning away some dust, and I'm thinking, tell you what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking that this dust has gotten into, because the dust, uh, the fan, the internal fan, shoots upwards because I have the computer on its side. So I tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that all I have to do is remove the case and give it a with compressed air, and I might not have to bother about. Oh, two things could happen. Either it fixes it and I'm good with the computer for a while until I need to replace it, or or it doesn't restart again once I clean it. I'm not sure which one it is. Jill, why are you so grumpy this morning? Jeez. He walks right in there. No, good morning. How you doing, my friends, my fellow humans? I'm very compassionate. I'm a very compassionate human being. I'm empathetic to your feelings and sensitivities. But no. Oh, look, it's the hate theist Sydney. Oh, look. Anyway, so yeah, come on in. Let's have a morning coffee together. Uh, you don't have to if you don't want. Oh, well, you're probably at school, aren't you? You're probably on a. Oh, well, we have visitor. We have a visitor. Hello, visitor. Yeah, we see you. We see you.
Your your mic is muted. It says here.
Oh, that's
There we
correct.
are.
My mic is muted.
This is my morning baking soda and water.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Mm. So, what kind of imagery do you think we should throw on that clip, or
Okay.
how should we present it or use it?
There, well, possibly we could do a small text reading title frame explaining uh, what happens about how he's on my bucket list, and I finally got to fulfill my bucket list, by getting on there. Just a little introductory thing, and then you try to. It's kind of a lot of work, but you could synthesize the kind of icons with the little lights flash when the people are talking. We could put up two wacky pictures. Have a picture of Darth with his teenage photograph as the icon flashing when he
Did
speaks.
you see? Look out for number one, Dina. I'm gonna do a reaction video to it, but he made a little avatar out of teenage Darth with a helmet.
Yeah,
It looks
that could work.
hilarious.
You can borrow it, steal it. That whole conversation I had with him was just me making it up here because I didn't have the mic. It didn't record my microphone, so it's all rearranged. It's just completely me
Well, it's
riffing.
okay. It's
What?
for the first half, it's pretty believable.
Yeah. Well, I finally get to say what I want to say. You can overtalk him when you're doing the editing.
Yeah,
You get to
exactly.
overtalk him, shut him down.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so no spoilers. But and then there's two places where I shout out to you,
Yes,
and I think
I heard that.
yeah. So you could pause it, and then you could throw something in there briefly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
then get back to it, or at least the second time.
I
But
would
go ahead
have
the
to
first
I
time.
would have to make an edited video of something
Yeah.
because otherwise it'd screw up the timing.
Oh, you wouldn't want to do it live, huh? Okay,
Mm.
when you're playing it. Okay.
Well, I suppose I could do it live if I knew where to stop the video exactly.
Yeah, well, that's what you do with the other things. You're playing back the stuff, and then you pause it and you comment. So
Well,
yeah,
good
just
point.
need
Good
one
point.
cue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just listen to it more than once, and you'll know. I call out
Yes.
to you. I mean, you should be
I
coming from the
know, I
next room.
know.
Hey, Sydney.
I should be sitting here like reading a book, like doing something totally different, and I
Yeah,
hear my name, you know.
right. Yeah,
Huh?
there you go.
All right,
So
yeah, we'll do that.
okay, yeah. Well, I'll just be sitting back here waiting for you. Or do you want me? I guess I'll work on some titles. I'll
Yeah,
work on
yeah,
some titles.
it's a work in progress.
Or we could send it to Tom Rabbit and let him do some stuff. We
But
want.
Tom Rabbit doesn't want my name. He doesn't like me.
Yeah.
He's not gonna promote anything to do with Sidney Winston.
Well, you're the hater people hate to hate.
Yeah, exactly. Am I a hater? Is that why they hate me?
Well, that's what they say.
I'm a
So you must
hater.
must be true.
I want to
But
see it in writing, and then I'll believe
all six of them, yeah, okay.
it.
That's what I'm hoping is that you'll do this, and then it'll get on there, and then I will send it to Tom Rabbit, and maybe he'll cover it because I'm so fucking good in it that you're just incidental.
No, you're. I don't know. You might have video editing skills that are way superior to anything that I could ever do.
Yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see what I can do with it.
we'll work into it. Okay.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to be around when we could even do it now if you like? It doesn't matter to me. But
Do
I'd
what?
like to listen to it a few times to get the timing right, like you said.
Oh yeah, I think we should. Uh, when we get it right, you should put out just little YouTube announcements before just a 20-second thing. I've seen this happen where you put up a YouTube thing saying Bill Pasdu finally gets to fulfill his bucket list.
Ah, okay.
Okay, or Bill Pasdu's Breakfast with Darth next Wednesday. And put that on there up on YouTube. Let it float around for a while, and then do it live.
Okay.
You know,
So you want to do it next
okay.
Wednesday, do you?
Well, that was just so now. Whenever it's ready,
I'm just
whenever
kidding.
it's ready, I can't. If I have to do work on it, I don't know when it's going to get done.
Okay.
I'm still working on that song from Otangelo singing to Darth. You know, his
Otangelo
goodbye
is
song.
singing a song Oh, really?
Yeah, I told you. Don't remember? I told you. Yeah, I was going to have a song. Tangelo announces that because of the mentoring from Sidney Winston and Bill Pasdu, he's decided he sees now and he gets it. and he's severing all his relationships with Darth, but he wants to leave him with this one last little song to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And then he starts singing. It's to the sounds of silence. It's called the sounds of Darthshans. And sneak preview. Hello, Darth, my old friend. I've come to sup with you again. I won't tell you anymore.
I wish there
So
was
he,
a sound. I wish there was a song called "The Sound of Darkness," so we could manipulate it into the sound of Darkness.
yeah. Well, that's sounds of silence is good. Sounds of darkness. The wells of darkness.
I like darkness and darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call a band Darky Darth, or Darth and the Darkies.
Oh,
Oh,
Darth and the Darthies. Darth
it's
and
like
the Darthies.
beneath the halo of a live stream chat, he spanks their asses and he bitch slaps.
Oh, Darth is. Listen, Darth is not allowed these lustful thoughts. He's a Christian, you know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know he's a Christian?
Well, I've been getting notices to come back into the room. Gee, I'm getting Tone Loc is having an event, and I didn't try
What room?
on Clubhouse,
Oh, 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 oh.
whatever room they do. What they call it, a room? What do they call it? Stage?
All right.
They call it a locker room.
I don't know. I've never been on Clubhouse.
Well, I'm using Club Deck, so I get to do it through a PC. I can see it. I don't have to do it on the phone. That's just
Yeah,
Clubhouse.
I know like very little about how it works.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty clunky. It's very clunky compared to Discord. But there will come a time you will return to Discord.
I will return to Discord.
Yes, you will. There'll come a time. Popular demand.
If I return to Discord into my own server, I can do that.
Well, nothing's stopping you.
No, well, okay, let me give you some history, some Sidney Winston Discord history. I was in Discord. I had a server on Discord. Two servers, I believe. But anyway, one I was using. But of course nobody was coming into my server because all the other servers were busy, like, you know, the Darth Dawkins and this and that and the other. So I'd go wherever the action was. Wherever Darth was, I'd go and listen. Just like you, just like you. But I'd get kicked out all the time. So okay, so then I'll just go and sit in my own server and wait for all my fans and everybody who wants to talk to Sidney Winston to come on into my Discord server. And I sat there day after day after day with no one coming in. So I said, fuck Discord. And here I am.
I couldn't figure Discord out for the longest time. So I just couldn't navigate it, couldn't get anywhere. And just as I discovered how to get to Darth and find him, he crashed and burned.
Yeah, you know, all the servers that it was in, Reformationist or whatever it was called, I was like IP banned, politics and religion IP banned, you know, like all this, everything. So what was the point?
Anti-apologetics. Yeah. I keep looking back there now every so often, but the palaver is so irritating.
Yeah.
So, to Sidney Winston, my full diet of cyber awareness comes from Sidney Winston, because Sidney Winston is divine, and I believe whatever Sidney Winston tells me.
I heard that before.
Yeah.
I heard that before. It's not the first time. Can you imagine the actual thrombosis he would have had if he actually had heard that name in his ears live?
If I'd said that to him,
yeah,
the real phone call, yeah.
Fuck, that would be funny.
This fucking guy.
I'm just worried. I'm actually really a little bit concerned with Darth Dawkins, and I'm serious. I'm concerned that one day somebody's going to mention my name, and he's going to have some kind of a medical emergency, and it's all because he heard my name. Especially if he's in a heightened state of rage, and somebody says, "But you know that Sidney Winston says otherwise," and then he has a stroke or something.
Man.
I don't want that to happen.
Well, how did you decide to think that way? Is his question. How did you decide? Well, if somebody told me.
Darth Dawkins, come on in right now.
Come on, Otangelo, tangle up with us a little bit this morning.
I still feel a little guilty about what happened to Artangelo in my room, and he's never come back. I mean, I don't blame him, but I have apologized.
I think I've seen him in the chat. Side
No,
chat.
not since James Henry was so rude to him.
Oh. I was there for that. I don't like it when people are rude to Otangelo.
No, there's no reason for to be rude to Artangelo. You know, his insults are really kind of low key. You know, they hit you in the ankle.
Well, also, we can win him over. He is curable.
Artangelo?
Yes. Yes.
He's from Italy though. He has Italian stock, and they probably like staunchly Catholic.
He's still, it's perennial adolescence, and it could break at any time. He can have intellectual puberty and actually be released from his delusion.
But he has a family, and he probably has his whole family unit centered on his being a Christian apologist. You know, in terms of the way he, in his community, the way he has relationships with his wife and his daughter and his friends and his colleagues and his whatever. If he switches, if he awakens and accepts reality for the reality that it is, then his whole lifestyle collapses.
We must mentor him not only in being liberated from his delusion, but how to keep his new freedom in the closet. We need more closet atheists out there. It's better than having. Um,
I think we have more closeted atheists out there than we have out of the closet or crazy Christians and crazy theists.
you think Trump is a closeted atheist?
Yes, absolutely.
Among the other things in his closet.
Yeah, I don't want to discuss anything else in his
He's got a
closet.
full closet.
but I will say that yes, I think he's not a closeted atheist. I think he's an atheist that had to go back into the closet because the Catholics, I swear, the Catholics run America.
Do you think?
Well, I
They run
don't.
the world.
I'm looking from outside of America, right? And there's one thing that's all. I want to tell you something. Let me share this. The one thing that's always been on my mind since what I saw this on Trump's inauguration day in 2017.
The carnage, the day of carnage.
No, the inauguration day, the day
Yeah.
he took. Was his car. His procession sort of came down slowly down this long avenue, and then it stopped, and him and his wife got out, and they went into a Catholic church that was along the way, and they came out, and then they carried on towards the inauguration. I always thought that was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. What the fuck was that all about? You're on your way to inauguration to be president of the United States in a separation of church and state country, and you stop off at the Catholic church, which is not even Catholic, but you go to the Catholic church, you come out, and then you go to your inauguration. I want to know what he gets told in the Catholic church.
I've never been in a Catholic church. I heard you go in there and you kiss the bare feet of marble statues. No, the statues have bare feet, and you.
That's pretty fucking. So hold on a second. So the Catholic Church is like a fetish, like a sex fetish.
Well, it's just called a ritual.
Feet kissing is a sex fetish, isn't it?
Well, if it's sexual, but if it's just abject subservience, it's
well,
not
no.
sexual.
If you kick, you got to figure that if you're gonna kiss somebody's feet, you're gonna do it for sexual pleasure of some sort.
How about if you just wash their feet? You get away with that. That's just a
That could
favor.
that could be just as
That gets
sexually provocative for somebody who's a believer. Mm.
very easy to get carried away.
Oh yes, just always starts at the toes and then it works its way up.
It starts with a nudge in the elbow by the elbow.
Okay, well stop. You know, sometimes I'm the only one that finds my jokes funny. Have you ever noticed that?
Well, that's the first step. If you can't laugh at your own jokes, don't
Yes.
try. Don't try.
Don't try to make jokes.
Yeah, I was laughing. I'm laughing all the time.
Yeah, but they just slip out. They just sort of, whoops, it wasn't me. It wasn't my joke bone.
The humor, laughing is a nervous response to a situation that you say to yourself, "That's not supposed to happen."
Right.
That's what the basis of humor is. That's not supposed to happen.
Especially in my head. Yeah.
Oh, I told a joke, an Otangelo joke the other day to, I think it was Tom Rabbit's Discord, and I got crickets. So of course I'll tell it to you. This nun is riding in a taxi cab, and the cab driver is having a wonderful conversation with her. He says, "I'm really surprised, that we can have such an open, freewheeling conversation." And the nun smiles and says, "Well, us nuns are full of surprises." He drives along in silence for a minute and says, "I feel I can tell you this. I've always wondered all my life what it would be like to kiss a nun." The nun says, "Well, okay, pull over." So pulls the cab over. Nun gets out and comes to the driver's window, rolls it down, and boom, she's on him. Open mouth kissing, tongue wrestling. And as soon as it started, it ends with a slurp. And then she gets back in the back seat and they drive along their way. About 4 minutes later, the cab driver starts bursting out into tears. "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm actually a Catholic, sister, and I kissed a nun. How am I going to live knowing that I've done this?" And the nun said, "It's okay. My name is really Otangelo. I'm on my way to a costume party in Darth's basement." See? You got a sense of humor. It's okay.
I was so ready to say, something, Bill. I've heard this joke 1,000 times.
Oh, really? Well, I got
Yeah.
it from a friend on Facebook, an old high school girlfriend.
No, the version I heard was more that the taxi drivers. I've always wanted to kiss a nun, okay, and then I've always wanted to
Finger.
no, I've always wanted to get a blowjob from a nun or something like
Okay.
that. Anyway, the nun says, "Okay, I'll give you a blowjob," and then at the end of it, it's like, I feel so guilty. I got a blowjob from a nun, and then eventually the nun says, "Don't worry, my name is Bruce. I'm in drag," or something like that.
I'm on my way to a costume party in Darth's basement.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
See, I come here because I'm appreciated. That Tom Rabbit chat group, they just don't appreciate me.
Well, yeah. My mind is probably as bent as yours, except you're a wordsmith. You got this connection between this oral connection or something between the way words sound and are spelled and it's pretty brilliant.
5th grade, I discovered Edgar Allan Poe and Nathaniel Hawthorne, and I just fell in love with words, the multisyllabic words.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I discovered 6th grade. I discovered Richard.
Excuse me.
Shut up. I discovered Richard Armour, who's very compact, very his history of the world, so very funny,
Yeah.
compact, terse stuff. So I've always combined the two in the way I think about things.
Yeah, it's worked out very well for you, no doubt.
Well, hasn't made me a mint, but maybe it will.
Yeah, I'm sure that your
I'll go
career, your past career in Hollywood served your past career in Hollywood as a Hollywood screenwriter or sorry, joke writer for Johnny Carson very well.
I was told I should have been writing for Saturday Night Live when I was in high school, but it didn't happen.
Because why? You didn't apply or they rejected you?
Detours. I went to college for photography, and I wanted to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just had various emotional and personality breakdowns. I wound up,
As we do.
yeah, I was a youngster, a young and angry little sucker right there in 1976, hitting college, and uh, and then I got involved in producing punk rock bands in Phoenix, in Arizona, and that's financially destroyed me. So that
Producing
was,
punk rock bands.
yeah, the early punk scene in Phoenix, Arizona, and
So,
Tempe.
okay, so it
I
destroyed you
produced
because no one came to watch them or because you were taking advantage of?
because I paid for everything. I produced all these people and stuff, and as soon as I had invested enough to get the music and shit done, they'd all get in fights with each other and break up the band. So there was no way to monetize the effort. And then they would come back. Four guys in a band they'd break up, and then they'd all form a band and come back to me. Now I got 16 people. Okay, and I'm doing
Oh
all
my
this stuff, and
God.
there was no distribution or and I wasn't a good businessman, but
Right.
got a lot of artifact from it. I heard one of the records I did back then sold in Europe for $1,200 for like a two song 45 from a band called the Red Squares in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Uh, but I didn't get nothing of that. I never saw anything. I did all this stuff on they called Spec Time, and yeah, then I just got out of all that. It's just I had some very unfortunate uh, people wanted the rights to their music back, and the only way they could do it was with gunpoint. So I just got out of the whole thing and went into pest control. A penny a bug and all you can eat. That's how I persevered professionally.
Well,
That's the only.
it seems to be a pretty lucrative
Yeah.
industry even today.
Oh, out in Arizona, yeah, it's really good. It's year round.
It's
Snowbirds.
lucrative here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crickets, black widow spiders, uh, brown roaches,
And
and silverfish.
mice,
What do you got?
silverfish, silverfish, ants, mice.
Mice. We got scorpions. You can usually charge a lot for scorpions. People are scared. Uh, we've got subterranean termites out here. There's a place called Mesa, Arizona. It's where all the mobile homes and parks are, and all the people come out here they leave their farms in the Midwest. And they come here during the winter,
Yeah.
and we've got subterranean termites, and they just eat this shit up. So a whole band of it going right through there. So there's a lot of termite work
Right.
that's done. I could tell you stories.
You could tell me stories, could you?
Stories.
All
Yeah.
right then.
I'd sell a job for $25. I was really nice to these people in the mobile home parks because a lot of them were just older retired people, and
Yeah.
I wanted to do good work for them. So I'd spray the place, and the crickets would come out. They have
Mhm.
cricket problems, and I say, I guarantee, ma'am, if you go for 2 weeks, let the chemical work, and if you see any bugs, give me a call, and I'll come out and give you another shot. And they'd call me up, and I'd come out there, and I said, well, where are they? He says, well, they're all there on the driveway. And I said, well, they're dead. Yeah, you said I wouldn't see another bug. So I said, man, we kill them, but we don't sweep them up. I'd have people call me up for guarantee work because they saw dead bugs.
Well, what you
It's a,
should do is resurrect them.
yeah. So
I mean, if somebody said to you, "I found a dead Jesus," wouldn't you rush and resurrect that dead Jesus?
if you went in to see Jesus, see how Jesus was doing on the third day, and you rolled the stone away and went in there, and he gave a little twitch, would you give him mouth to mouth after 3 days? And be
No,
scourged the way
I
he
put
was?
my hand over his nose and his mouth.
No, I'd bring a pillow.
Yeah. Nah, I'd want that. I'd want for sure to know that this guy is dead.
Yeah. No crusades, motherfucker. It ain't
Yeah.
happening. No. Ain't burning no midwives and calling them witches, you bastard.
So if you could travel back in a time machine, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
to the time when Mary was pregnant with Jesus. Hmm.
Yeah.
Would you um, terminate Mary?
Ooh, I'll be back and answer your question in a minute.
You know how they ask you, do you go back in time? Would you hit? Would you,
Well,
would you kill Hitler or something? Well, would you? While
I'd
Mary
kill,
was pregnant with Jesus, would
I'd
you?
kill Hitler, but I'd tap his ass first.
Well, I don't know about that.
Ah, he
I'd be
did.
more than
Anyhow,
happy with killing.
nah, it's not enough for him for what he did to my family.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, that's what I tell caution when people want to get in fights with me. I say, if you hit me, I may just start crying. But if
Watch
I
out.
but if I knock you out, I'm gonna yeah.
Oh,
I'll warn you.
I see.
I'm gonna.
So it's not about the fight, it's about the makeup sex.
It's about the threat. I would never do such a thing, sir. I'm a very moderate, low libido, quasi heterosexual. Quasi heterosexual, yeah.
You are transgender, admit it. Come on.
No,
You're in the closet transgender.
I'm close, but it's 70s styles. Is it transgender or is it 70s styling? I'm just an old hippie, that's all.
Ah, I didn't even notice you had long hair.
Well, you need to take a closer look at me. You might get some tips on how to groom yourself.
Well, I did groom myself.
Yeah, but it's thin. It's not eulatricus. You need a
No,
eulatricus presence.
no, I specially did it this way. I chose I think it was an eighth of an inch on my beard
Yeah.
and a 16th of an inch on my head,
Oh,
and huh?
you've got modern technology for that, right? A little electric thing.
I have
You don't.
I have a one of
Yeah.
those. It's a whole full head thing.
Yeah.
So look,
Yeah.
okay, so that was an eighth of an inch, and this is a 16th of an inch, and it's good for a month, maybe two.
High maintenance.
Yeah, that's what I like. Except my head's cold for some reason.
Up in Canada, I can't figure why. Why not? That's strange. I'm all insulated and stuff, and I'm living in the middle of the desert,
You're
and
living in the
have
middle of desert.
in the middle of the desert and have not traveled much.
You live in Arizona still?
Born in Arizona, born and raised in Arizona, and have not traveled much. Yeah.
Do you know that outside of Arizona, there are other states that make up your federation, your republic? It's not just like Arizona is America. Did you not know that?
Right. I'm a parochial. What do they call it? A person who's grounded in their locality, all their sensibilities. I was
Parochial.
searching for this word. It's called parochial. I'm a
Yeah.
parochial. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a parochial '60s Arizona Democrat. Arizona used to be a Democratic state.
Are you sure that Arizona was part of the United States in the 60s? I don't remember Arizona.
Yes. Yes.
All I
That's where we.
remember was Four Dead in Ohio.
That was a big one.
That was huge. I'm still to this day. It still sits in my head for this unknown reason. You know, things that don't make sense, especially in America when the army turns on the people. It it sits in there. Wow.
And this duty is duty is a large part duty.
I would like to know. I'd like to interview the guys that killed those students. I'd like to
Yeah.
have them on this show right now, dialing in and telling their story. I don't want to judge them or anything. I just want to hear their story.
They would have been in their early 20s, probably at the time they did that. And that was in what, 68?
70.
It was 70 when the Beatles.
70, I just started high school, so They're older than me.
Yeah. The Beatles had just broken up, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young were the American Beatles. I remember now. Yeah.
I didn't. I wasn't introduced to Neil Young or that sort of whole genre until about 75.
Hmm.
Well, once I'd left high school. No,
Yeah.
sorry, 74. The summer of 74, the end of 70, the end of high school, when I spent the whole summer on the beach. That was when I was introduced to all that music.
Well, that's California's right next door to Arizona. We got a whole influx of that stuff. Um, but I had just discovered Frank Zappa, and I wasn't listening to too much else.
Yeah, we had Zappa. I'm talking about growing up on the tip of Africa.
Yeah. Gee.
So if you were for any of this type of stuff, it wasn't on the radio anyway. People bought records and they played them and they shared them, and that was the way you got your music. Except,
70. Yep.
ex
I went to high school from 71 to 75, and I remember my high school history teacher, world history teacher. He was saying that the next big development of continental development is going to be Africa. Africa is going to surge forward and take over the world because of all of its rich resources, and it's just waiting to emerge and explode. But it's pretty much there's still some shitholes.
I believe it's a worse situation.
Yeah,
What actually do you know about what's happening with China and Africa and China and all these countries where they've this massive debt and stuff? What's going on there? You haven't been
no,
watching?
no, no. I've been
Yeah,
watching the Beatles get back, waiting for it and watching it. But I just know that I buy my guitars from China. So
why do
I
you
got
need so many? Why do you need
I
so
got no
many?
gift.
You consumer. You're a capitalist.
It's my one thing that I overindulge in is my music toys. I've learned to live without everything else.
Well,
I don't
no,
have.
why do you need more than one guitar?
Oh, because they sound different. They play different,
Oh,
and it's the experience of playing the guitar. You're in different moods and you're going for different sounds. They just
talking about music, I have a neighbor who is she runs the department at a music sort of a higher level music institute. Her PhD was in music theory um, and composition. So she's the one like my neighbor that I speak to every day. We're actually friends. Anyway, so we are talking about the other day. I said to her, why don't you compose an intro for Sidney Winston shows? So she says, well, okay, what kind? And I said, I don't know, we came up with something questioning, right? How do you take questioning and transpose it to something musical, right? So she goes to the piano and she does something, and it sounded, yeah, well, yeah, like questioning. Now,
it's got a
now she said it was an F minor, B minor. Does that make sense?
F minor over F minor over B,
No, F minor, B minor.
F minor, B minor. Did you hear that?
But she did it on the piano. But
F
I mean,
minor.
she did a whole bunch of other things, but it was F minor, B minor root or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. So it'll be F minor. I gotta take this finger off. You gotta play with it. You gotta work into it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm waiting for that to happen. I'm going to get myself an introduction, a musical introduction composed specifically for me.
Yeah. Well, you have such nice music playing there, but my silly mind turns towards jingles and things. So I would be going like, boom, chicka, boom, boom, Sydney, hey Sydney. What's that one song? Hey Paula, Sydney, hey Sydney.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Why don't you come on, Sydney? Boom, 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 boom.
I can't remember, but
Something
yeah,
along
I
those.
know you. I know what you're talking about. I think.
Yeah, work recording with software. I used to have reel-to-reel stuff, tape and analog, and in my years back then
Yeah.
when I was doing it, and I'd put it all down for years. And now DAWs are just digital audio workstations are just so counterintuitive to me. Um, that I probably haven't got a lot of stuff done that I could have.
Yeah.
I have a whole backlog of ideas, but I haven't worked into them. Um, I was more busy around 1990 in the 90s. And
Right.
I've got a Reverb Nation. I think I mentioned this before. A Reverb Nation channel, Bill Pazdu, and I got some songs on there, a bunch of music on there that I did earlier that I recorded. So you might want to check that out. If it's anything you'd like, you can let me know if you listen to it. I got a
Okay.
song.
Is it
Yeah,
your own compositions?
yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And they're demos. They're not really finished, but there's drums and pianos and bass lines and stuff,
Mm,
and my competent vocals, and some turn out better than others.
right. Okay.
But I've got this one called "Nasty Man," and one of the later lyrics is, "I worship a giant man who they say is the one God, who shits on folks I love because their spines are too stiff to nod, who's murdered everyone and someday will murder me. He's
Oh,
floating
nice.
behind Pluto where his weenie can't be seen."
Oh, nice. Very, very nice. Good for the
Yeah,
kids. Good for the
yeah.
kids. Nice on a wholesome show like this. This is what I have to hear.
Well, yeah. Well, if we do the past or the Winston past due thing, I could possibly we could if we get popular, I could post a song. If they're 4 minute long, I'll post a song during the show, a few minutes with Bill past due music,
Sure.
and I can all my atheist
All we
music.
got to do is all we got to do for that to happen is to be consistent in when we go live or when we perform every morning at. Well, you're in Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm on the West Coast, so we're probably
it's
just an hour difference. I've
10
yeah
45 right now.
yeah, so we're an hour different. I'm an hour
Hmm.
behind you.
Well, we don't have to do it all live. Just post it up there, put together some shows with content, and do them, and then play it, preview it, premiere it like they do, but then also open it up. Can you do a premiere of a pre done content and then have people call in while you're doing it? You can do that.
No,
Open it up. Oh, you
no.
can.
When you do when you do like an instant premiere or a premiere,
Yeah.
it's you upload it first, and then it
Right.
plays, and then you can interact with it in chat.
So you can't open a live stream session and then have a source be the pre done material, and then while that's happening, people can call in and discuss. I
I
think
suppose you could
that's
do it on another one of your channels.
yeah. I know. Well,
Like
Spatchcock I think does that.
like
Jefferson.
I have two channels, right, or three channels. So I could have that instant premiere running, but you can't stop and interrupt it. It's just gonna play like a regular if you release a video.
No, you can stop it. It's one of the sources. One of the sources is the pre-recorded thing. You just stop it because the whole thing is a live stream. It's like with OBS Studio. You have all these different sources.
Yeah, but if you pre-recorded, I would grab it from my local drive. I wouldn't need to grab it from YouTube.
Well, okay, we can work that out. One thing I would like to make a comment about is I've come on to your chats there, and and where the windows are located when we're talking, there's this thing of Israel that comes down across my face, little blue. It looks like Gorbachev or something. So it makes me, and
Sorry.
that's the way you got
I'm
to
so sorry.
you got to unclutter that screen when you have people calling in. You've got a lot of visual on there.
I know, I know, I know.
I kept making jokes about how that red map of Australia. What's that red map of Australia?
Oh, I never
But
saw that.
Yeah. Well, what is that a map of? You where you live? It's or what's
of
this?
of northern of
It's a map
it's a map. Yeah,
of someplace in Canada.
the whole of Canada.
Oh, it's the whole of Canada. It's got a maple leaf in the middle, and I would say something like, why is there a
Uh,
maple leaf in the middle of that map of Australia? But you never noticed that.
because firstly, we have a lot of Canadians, Australians in Canada, and we have a lot of Canadians in Australia. So sometimes we can't tell the difference.
It'll work.
You
Well,
see.
when you're doing that, when you have people all call in, you need to. I think you should clear that stuff out of there. It gets in the way.
Oh, I agree with you, actually.
And
All right.
it's bad enough because on the right side, if you have a chat going, if you can see the chat comments, it always blocks the people's faces too. I've
I don't
noticed
ever
that.
have the chat comments on.
Well, it does that. Let me see. How's that work? It does it through live when I use my Fire Stick. I got a complicated
Well,
setup.
I could do the chat comments, but I'd have to do a pop out and then just open up a window for them and then just stick them on. I could do that, but the chat is for me anyway. The chat is its own thing on the side, not to be confused or integrated really with what's happening on the voice.
Why are you so rigid? I mean, I can understand if your attendance and viewership has gone tits, you've got all this stuff going on. But if you only got a few people, take any source of anything to chat with. If you got six people watching, why not
I
respond
never
to the
have
side
six
chat?
people watching.
I know it's usually four.
No, it's usually two.
Yeah, okay. No, it gets up there, but
I don't.
take it
It's not the
take it from
point.
all
The
directions.
point is
That's not
that
the point,
two people might be watching now,
right?
but okay, this is the year 2021, and I'm addressing all of you people in the year 2071. If you're in the year 2071 watching this, I pity you.
Really, they'll regret that you ever were elected president of the world.
Well, that's in the future, but they'll know all of it'll be in the future, but in their it's amazing. It's in my future and your future, but in their past. Oh well.
Okay, well, so
Well, let me see. We've been soaring
let's
along for 50 minutes. I think if a chat doesn't sort of get going and get hopping and humming, then an hour is probably too long, and we're approaching an hour.
yeah, time flies. I'm just high on baking soda. Uh, let's see if there's any.
You're just high on baking soda.
Baking soda and water. It's a quarter teaspoon to 6 ounces.
And
I
what does it
just
do?
I fill up one of these and I put those little melon ballers, little spoons. You make a little melon balls
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I put three of those in here,
Uh-huh.
and it just keeps my stomach smooth. I sip it during the day, keeps my stomach smooth.
Oh, it's like a Tums.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Ah,
poor man's Tums. I'm not spending money on Tums. That's all labeling and color, artificial colors.
right.
I ain't paying for that.
Right.
Just distilled water and
Baking soda seems to have quite a few uses. I mean, that's just
yeah,
another one I found.
yes, it will resurrect. It'll bring out the cat piss from your carpet. Okay.
Ooh, good to
Yeah,
know.
I'm checking my Fire Stick here, going live, but there's no side chat, is there?
Mm, we're here.
Yeah, there's nothing happening. See, it shows up on my Fire Stick. I'm going to switch windows to the fire to the YouTube.
What exactly is a Fire Stick?
Fire Stick is a little computer. It plugs into your TV. It's just internet. It's Wi-Fi to the internet from Amazon, and it loads up with apps that play through your TV. So you can get HBO Max, you can get Netflix, and you get this little remote control, and you can talk to it, play Hill Street Blues, and it'll find it. You load YouTube in there, and you can watch YouTube on your big TVs, And the TV I've got going to a nice stereo system, so it's real nice sound. And
Wow, you living the life, man. You must be a
I
wealthy man. You have a TV.
no, I
You have a
spent it.
TV.
I spent on the right thing. I acquired one,
I don't
but
have a TV.
I assure you, it was given to me.
I assure
Something like
you,
that.
I don't have a
These are
TV.
$40. $40. Okay. And all you need is, and if you have an internet service, you're good to go.
Oh
And
yeah,
this will get you all sorts of goodies.
but
It's even
still,
got
I
a
don't have a TV.
well, I've got extra ones. I was going to send you a computer. I was going to send you all the shit you need, but I can't afford shipping to Canada. That's crazy.
Well, why don't you just
So,
drive it up?
yeah,
I'll meet you at the border. I'll take care of it there. We'll do a swap.
yeah, I don't have a car. I don't know. I am immobilized. I am sedentary.
Well, then we will
There's
just have to work on a plan.
We'll have to find a good Samaritan.
Tell me something. What is so bad about all the other Samaritans?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, Samaritanism is granular, so there has to be levels.
How do you know it's
S-
granular?
Some people are more Samar than others.
Yeah, but some people are good, and some people are good Samaritans, other people are just Samaritans.
Yeah.
So that was exactly my question. How does that work?
Doesn't matter what you call them, just as long as you pay them all equally. You need to pay your Samaritans the same level. You don't want to pay some Samaritans more than others. It creates a disconnect, a
But
caste system between
right,
your
but
Samaritans.
are all Samaritans equally skilled?
Oh, each to his own best talents. One man's Samaritan is another man's clumsy motherfucker.
Well, that
One man's
sounds like
nosy.
it doesn't sound like Samaritans are any different from Epicureans.
Epicureans, that's people with fancy appetites.
Yes.
Well, Epicureans.
Fancy appetites for anything at any time with anyone at any place.
Well, they described heroin addiction as an appetite disorder when I was going through my therapy, and that worked. I got over all that, and it was just an appetite disorder.
What does it makes you eat too much or eat not at all?
Well, it's just appetite is something innate inside you. So you just get an appetite. The same as sexual addiction is an appetite disorder. It all centered in the same inner motivations.
What's YouTube addiction?
Yeah, that's called habituation. That's just repeating something over and over, and then your mental processes align harmonically with the waveform of whatever it is you're being habituated to. It's like harmony, when you have waveforms and they match up, they reinforce each other.
Oh yeah.
So if you're that's how all that works.
So I'm going to change the name of the morning Java to morning water and baking soda.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. That'll that'll
Well,
that'll attract people.
give it a more fancy name, not baking soda. Call it
What's it?
past due morning past news potion. Morning's
Morning.
past due snake oil. Past due's morning potion.
Pazdu's potion.
That's
I like the
past due's,
alliteration.
yeah. I'm gifted that way.
Yeah, but you see, the thing about America is that you're wasting your talent. Because in America, people will buy anything, and if you're gifted in any way, you're a gold mine.
Oh yeah. Well, I just learned to hate my audience. I don't like people.
I don't like people either. That's why
Uh,
I don't believe that people exist. I see apparitions on my screen, but I don't know if that's really people.
I just don't trust anything they do as being they're the ones really doing it. I still center myself on benevolence. I don't see anything better to do than just engage in benevolence to those around you, and there's no way to get around to improve on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. If your foundation is humanistic or humanism, then I'm sorry, you're stuck with that. You're
Benevolence,
stuck with benevolence for the
yeah,
rest of your life, buddy.
benevolent. So
So there you go.
I'll settle for that. I'm about winding down here.
Yeah, I'm ready. If nobody else is joining, there's no one watching.
Yeah,
so so
we'll
I'm
get
just
this
gonna
up. Maybe we'll get views. Call it morning potion with Pazdu.
morning potion with Paz do. All right.
And see if that catches on. And email me or whatever ideas or um, about what to do with the material I
Well,
gave you.
I'll put something together because I've got a whole bunch of Darth Dawkins editing to do. So maybe I'll
Okay.
I just it's the whole task is so daunting. I haven't started it yet, but it's all I mean the folders and everything are all there. It's all ready to go. I just have to open
Well,
up my editing software and let the inspiration flow.
what do you use to edit video?
Adobe Premiere 2021.
Wow,
Sorry. Adobe Premiere Elements 2021.
that's expensive stuff.
Yeah, but I've been using Adobe. I've been buying Adobe since I think 8. I bought 8, I bought 13, and now I bought 21.
I use Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how to use Windows Movie Maker. I don't know how to use Windows.
Doesn't take much because it doesn't do much.
I know.
Okay. You have a